Guidance.
The Honorable Founder of Sri Shivaji Education Society, the true son of soil, Dr. Bhausaheb Panjabraoji Deshmukh, the man of inspiration who has enlightened the houses of all the people here in Buldhana as well as the whole Maharashtra, our chief patron, and who has established the light of education here in Buldhana district, Pandarnathji Patil Sahib, the pride and inspiration of whole Maharashtra and the country together, Shubha, the holy premises of this college, and our chief patron and the chief inspiration and our chief guidance, Honorable Principal and today's chairperson, my dearest friend, Honorable Wire Sir. You are very intelligent and the man of caliber, the man of golden heart and pacific mind. You are Professor of English. My dear friend, Y. Bhase Sir, Baitul Madam Ji, Honorable Professor Dalvi Sir, Honorable Patil Sir, Honorable Deshmukh Sir, and my most loving, dearest and energetic would-be teachers friends. Honorable Professor Y. Bhase Sir in his introductory speech spoke many things about my personality and about my achievement about English language here. Now he spoke only because he is a man of golden heart and royal fellow. And so whenever he looks around all these things, he always sees beautiful things, and at the same time he also, only because he has a good eyes, beautiful, he has a sense of seeing beautiful things in the world, and so he spoke something more about my personality. So I really indebted to him and I salute to his great pacific heart. First of all, I am very much overwhelmed to see your hospitality here. My elder brother, Professor Principal Wire Sir, has blessed me here by offering me, he made me a very great person here. He felicitated me and he made me a great man, I would say. It is only because of his blessing we people are working here in these premises, his guidance. Now my dear friends, first of all I would like to congratulate you, all of you, after looking at your progress when you came here one by one and illustrated your views about English language. So this is really praiseworthy. I must say that your teacher has taken a very great efforts in that particular direction and he is on the right track, and really my dear friends, you are in a good hands. Your future is really safe, and I am sure that you will definitely guide your small children wherever you will go and teach the further generation there. Now I just turn to the particular subject given to me here to talk to you. Now we have been continuously talking about English language here. What's English language, how should we teach, and what are the various ways of introducing this English language in the classroom, as well as to the grassroots students. Many students came here and they spoke about the importance of English language as well as grammar, the different kinds of methods and approaches and techniques even they highlighted. Now in his introductory speech, Professor Y. Bhase also spoke about the importance of English language and how he has engaged himself with you, with the great guidance of our principal in various kinds of English activities, and this particular program is one of the output of all these things together. This is not a very simple thing to come forward and to stand before our all lecturers and principal and before our students and to say something in English language. It needs a great courage and confidence. My dear friend, first thing I would like to tell you in the very first sentence in my lecture that English language is the simplest language in the world. There is not even a single language in the world which is as simple as English language. But everything needs some methods and techniques. So first of all, I would like to talk about what's language. What's language? Language is nothing but a means of communication. I qualify my sentence, it's a means of communication. I don't say that it's the means of communication. The means only, and a means one of them. So when I say that it's a means of communication, it means there are another means of communications even. So language is only one of them. Suppose I have to talk to my friend who is living 1,000 miles away from me, for example, in Bombay. So how can I talk to him? So with the help of telephone, I can talk to my friend. This is also a one way of talking to my friend. This is also a one means of communication. At the same time, when I have to talk to my friend, I can write all my thoughts on the paper and I can send him to man who is living 1,000 miles away from me, that is in the form of a letter. So this letter is also a means of communication. Your telephone is also a means of communication. At the same time, suppose the driver and bus conductor, they want to talk to each other. So the driver, with the help of the bell and the lights, they can talk to each other. So the conductor, for example, suppose he has to talk to driver. So with the help of the bell, when he rings the bell for once, the gadi stops. When he rings the bell for twice, the gadi starts. So this is the communication between the driver and conductor. At the same time, the driver also shows signals to the lights, and with the help of this, then a short signals, they can talk to each other. The man can express many things without language. So with the help of his hands, fingers, facial expressions and eyes, he can say something. If I say, so this is come here. If I say, so go away. Have you eaten? Did you sleep? So these are also some ways of expression, these ways of communication, and language is a most powerful means of communication only because we can immediately understand the reactions on the faces of the front person. Immediately we can understand the reactions on the faces of the front person, and so this is an effective and powerful means of communication. As far as the letter is concerned, as far as the phone is concerned, so we cannot see the immediate reactions on the faces of the front person. So these are the various lame means of communication, and language, oral communication is a very powerful one. Suppose an old woman and you are asked to go and tell her that her son is dead. If you are asked to go and report her about the death of her son, then first of all you will have to just look at the mother, because she is very old, and what would happen, what would be the effect of your report? She may collapse, even she may die. So this particular news has a direct relation, direct effect on her mind. So likewise, the direct communication, when the speaker is there and the listener is there, so there is a direct way of speaking, and it has a very powerful effect. So language has that particular quality. So language is that which can be put into practice. My dear friends, you talked about the language and about a language. There are two things of learning a language. Learning about a language is something different than using a language itself. So when we talk about ABCD and all these things, this is learning about language. But when we directly talk about English language, when we directly use that particular language, so this is direct method. So this is applied method. This is situational method. So first of all, I would like to bring to your notice that what is the first principle of learning a language? How does a child learn? Listen to me carefully. What happens generally when the child is 3 to 4, 5, 6 months of age, it's an infant. When you do like this, when you just make a sound out of your fingers, when you do like this, immediately the child looks at you. So this is listening and this is responding. So when you make a sound, the child responds to your sound. So the first principle of learning a language is to listen to it carefully. Listening, listening, and listening. A day comes, we can say something, we can speak something. So the child, the mother takes him, brother takes him, sister takes him, and in this way they talk together. And the child is the only student in the family, he listens only. He is the only student, and there are 3 to 4 teachers in the family. So this is only because of the surrounding. Listening, listening, and listening, and there is a babbling stage. So this is language acquisition. This is in the family. Suppose the 2 children, that is twins, are born in the family. One child is kept in the forest and another child is kept in the society or in the house, in family, for example. So the child which is put there in this forest, so with the help of his hands and legs he will be walking, but he will never be talking. But the child which is there in the family, before walking it will be talking, only because of surrounding. So my dear friends, unfortunately in our schools and colleges we don't create such type of English atmospheres, and that's why such activities are very necessary for the creation of English atmosphere. And this is one of the part of such type of creation. It's a good creation. The another thing, my all friends wants to speak English. You want to speak English, you want to read English, you want to write English, but the main problem before all of us is that if I come forward and if I say something, if I speak in English, the people will laugh at me, I will be insulted, so I don't have courage. So how can I come forward? I don't get proper words to describe the proper situation. So there are various factors that oppose you to come forward. So this is inferiority complex. Unless we try, how can we know that how can we, or whether we could speak English or not, unless we try? So my dear friends, practice, practice and practice alone can take you to the topmost success. I will give a very simple example. No need of grammar. Then you will say, sir, how can you say that there is no need of grammar? Now tell me, the child who does not go to any school, the child who does not go to any school, he speaks beautiful Marathi in the house. He speaks beautiful Marathi in the house. He does not know this is this is this is active voice, this is passive voice, this is what and that is that. So the grammatical sense the child does not know. He cannot write, he cannot read, but he speaks. He speaks beautiful Marathi in the house before going to school. Why does this happen? Only because of surroundings. So, who taught him grammar there in the house? No one. Suppose a non-Marathi speaking family leaves your neighbor. Your children go and play with their children. After the period of 6 months, 1 year or 2 years, your children also speak their language. And this happens only because of the surrounding, because they listen. The man who cannot listen cannot speak. The man who cannot listen cannot speak. He is a dumb. If he is a deaf, he is a dumb, because he cannot listen. So the first principle of learning a language is to listen to it carefully. So after going to your villages and to your respective jobs, there you have to create such type of English atmosphere there. So I will tell you later on what should be the actual role of a teacher in the classroom at the grassroots level. That also I will tell you later on. So this practice. Practice is very necessary. The child goes to a typing institute class. At the very first day he goes and sits before the machine. And looking at the keyboard, he puts his fingers there in the initial position, isn't it? But after the period of 3 or 6 months, what happens? His hands are on the machine. Looking behind, he can type it, isn't it? So looking behind, he can type it. Suppose the person is speaking from that corner and simply he listens to his voice. So whatever he speaks, he gets it typed immediately, and he can type 100 words in 1 minute, 60 words in 1 minute, and this happens only because of practice. Here, my dear friends, how many students are there? They can introduce themselves. We people don't know whether we should say sir has or sir have. So we are confused what to say and what not to say. So this comes only because practice and practice. Who is at fault? Who is to be blamed? Who is? Whether the society, whether the teachers, whether the syllabus, or whether the whole premises. Who is faulty? Who is to be blamed? And if this is the output of our education, after 10 years, if our students cannot speak 10 simple sentences English, they cannot write, they cannot read a proper paper even English, so should we continue such education? Should we continue such education? We are looking for outputs. This is the world of computer and technology. So when we feed, we get it immediately, the outer effects. So the very process of learning we are following are simply the orders, but the very process of learning and teaching, have you ever thought about the process whether it is right or wrong? Simply we are imposed and we are sealing the particular packages among our students. Whatever the government imposes with us, forces us to sell. So we are nothing but salesmen. We have no voice. Many times we write to the boards and to the universities that there should be certain changes in teaching learning process, but who cares? So there is a time now that we must ponder over all the processes and methods generally which we practice today in schools and colleges. Now the another thing I would like to tell you, your happiness largely depends upon the mastery of your language. Language is a total reflection of your personality. How you walk, how you talk, how educated you are, how cultured you are, that can be understood only because of language and language alone. When the child says only yes sir, so we people immediately understand what kind of personality the child has. So simply saying yes sir, we can immediately understand his whole nature, his culture and his education. So language should be very magnetic, pure, and should be smooth and polite. Now when we need such type of beautiful language, so are there certain ways of acquiring and learning such type of languages? Do we have such type of ways? Yes, there are. Now first of all, we must make a question. What should we learn in English? Tell me. What should we learn in English? What is English? What is English? Is it only alphabet? Is it only grammatical terms? Is it only, what else then? Grammar, active voice and passive. Suppose I have seen many students, they can change one sentence into 12 different tense structures. Does it mean that the child knows English well? Because he can change all the tense structures of I write a letter on Ram, it's a mango. I am also learning and listening to these particular two sentences right from the beginning of. My teachers used to teach it in the classroom. So should we continue such type of traditional education here in today in 21st century? So when the child changes that particular sentence into 12 different range structures, does it mean that he knows English well? Then what is English? What should we just focus our attention on a particular thing? Now remember and listen to me carefully what I say. This is nothing but the decoction of my 30 years experience. What I read and what I achieved and what I experienced, that I would like to share with you. So this book which we teach in the classroom, what should we teach? The book which we teach: prose, lessons, poetry, non-detail, grammar. So we will call it a matter. We will call it a textbook. So this textbook is nothing but a means of going to the particular destination. Suppose we have to go to, this is a means only. Do you understand me what I say? Do you understand me what I say? Or am I, simply just, do you really understand me what I say? You are would-be teachers, and the great responsibility is on your shoulders, my dear friends. We are going to retire, but everything you have to do now. And so our teachers should be very punctual and efficient enough to justify our students. You should be able to give justice to your further generation. Otherwise, you will feel unhappy. Teacher is the most important person in the world. Our hands become white with the help of the chalk sticks, and we write white on the black. We write white on the black mission that nature has inflicted on us, and for that we should prepare ourselves. And that's why it is very necessary for all of us that we must study that particular subject in a proper way. If I ask you to make the motorcycle stand on main stand, and if you even didn't touch the motorcycle, so how will you go and just make the motorcycle stand on main stand? You didn't touch the motorcycle. And if I ask you to go and make the motorcycle stand on main stand, then it will be impossible for you, because you didn't touch the motorcycle. But if a person knows properly how to, what else is there, sir? Simply you put the main stand down, simple jerk is there, the gaadi will just stand still. What else is there? So this is the technique, my dear friends. At the same time, English language, learning English language is also a technique. This is also a technique. So there are 3 techniques, and at the end of my lecture I would like to just tell you about all these 3 techniques even. So what should we teach? Neither the book, nor the prose, nor the poetry. This is only means to language. Language is something different. To teach the book, to finish the syllabus is not our aim. To make our child to use that language properly in his educational, in his social and other life. He should be able to read newspaper properly and can understand the news. He should be able to make an application properly. He should be able to express his thoughts with others. So that much expectations we have expected from our students regarding English language. But how many students are today in a position they can even express themselves? They can tell their introduction. How many students? Very few students to be counted on fingers that they can serve the purposes. So as far as English language is concerned, we are lagging very much behind. Only because we don't have proper techniques with us, proper methods with us. And whatever is traditional, we are using it today even in the 21st century. So this is the time of change. Now Ramakrishna More in 2000, generally he made a major shift from literature to language, and at the grassroots level English language has been introduced. So this is the tremendous change, historic change that this fellow has made. This is remarkable change in our society. And now the child is speaking in English. Dublin stage, the songs, Baba Black Sikh in wool, and things of that kind. He is speaking in English. The mother and father, they are pleased very much to listen to the voice of their children. So this is conventization of English language. Otherwise, the people, those afford money, they could only send their children to the high schools, very renowned schools, English schools, and the students and children of common people, they were keeping away, they were just kept away from such type of education. But nowadays, we can learn English well. Now see another thing I would like to bring to your notice, grammar. We were talking about grammar. So grammar is a further step. First of all, language is essential. So how should we know, how should we learn English language? What's language? Yes, it's a means of communication, but it is nothing but how to make words and how to make sentences. That is a language. What I speak, sentences. What you listen to, sentences. What are written in books, sentences. What we have to write in papers, sentences. Once you know how to make a sentences, nothing is there in English. So how to make words and how to make sentences. Now there are many students today in our schools and colleges, they don't even pronounce the word sentence. आम्हाला pronounce सुद्धा करता येत नाही. So LSRW, listening, speaking, reading and writing. Some of my friends, touched it, listening and speaking. So the first principle is listening and then speaking, and then reading and writing. So listening, how can we listen? Now see, I will tell you about the actual role of a teacher in the classroom. What happens generally when the teacher enters into the classroom, the students are stood up and they greet their teacher, isn't it? When you enter the classroom, your students stand up and they say, good morning, sir, in a very long way. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. So you accept it for 10 to 15 days, but this is your duty to make it correct. What is necessary that you should know what is the correct way of saying good morning. You should know, and then only you will just tell your friends, tell your students. So see my dear students, this is not the right way of saying or greeting your teacher in such a long way. Good morning, sir. Morning. Very good morning. How are you? So in a particular format, it should be properly stressed and intonated. Ram, sir. Do we say in this way? Now see, in Marathi there is one. Ami dogha बैलगाडी चालव. So this is a very beautiful. You can immediately understand. आम्ही दोघं बैलगाडी चालव, पण मी याला तोडतो. आम्ही दोघं बैल गाडी चालव. Now when we just combine these words together, naturally the meaning changes. Immediately the meaning changes. When we say पाटीलची कन्या, but when I say पाटील चिकन्या, can we say so? We can't. So we should break the sentences, the words into a proper decision in a division, so that it would create certain meaning. And while speaking English, while reading English, we don't pay attention towards such activities. And your work starts. You take the attendance. How do we take attendance? 1, 2, 3. We are stooning at this. We are stooning. So it should be in a proper way so that the students will imitate you. You speak in such a way that the students will imitate you. You are the best model before them. And so it should be in a way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21. So it should be in a climax and anticlimax way. When you take a chalkstick in your finger and just you go to write on the blackboard, you should be very cautious about the spelling. It should be very clean, neat, visible. Otherwise, just like the doctor's sheet, you write there on the blackboard. The first letter you understand, the remaining almost. Just like the doctor. So how will the students know? So as far as the writing is concerned, you should be very clear about all these things. And then speaking. So with the proper stress and intonation, you have to speak there. When we say, forget somebody spoke, my dear friends, the people don't accept even a wrong single pronunciation. We had conducted earlier a seminar for the teachers, teaching to the UG level, undergraduate graduation level. So there were 60 teachers participated in the seminar, and one man was reading the paper. And while reading, he pronounced one word wrongly, and it was Renaissance. So there is a Renaissance period, Renaissance. So he pronounced it Renaissance. Immediately one man stood up with a very big and red eyes. He became very angry, and he, with a very modulated voice, very loud voice, I can't bear this pronunciation. मी असा wrong उच्चार सहन करू शकत नाही. He spoke. How can you say like this? Being an English teacher, it's your duty to pronounce it correctly. And then he said, this is not an English word, this is French word, and it should be Renaissance, not Renaissance. It should be Renaissance. See, not even a single word is tolerated. So our each and every activity in the classroom should be very reserved and perfect. And how can we be like that? Only because of practice, practice and practice alone. So there are no shortcuts to any success. You have to work. Are there tablets and vitamins, and are there some injection pills and potions in the hospital that if we go there and if we inject a particular injection, the 500 words are crammed automatically? Are there certain tablets? No, not at all. You have to work. And how much? So that will also later on I will tell you. So my dear friends, work, work and work. Work is worship, work is God. He who shall not work shall neither have 2 times bread to eat. And so we have to continuously work as far as English language is concerned. So listen to it carefully. So not only the books, prose, poetry and another thing, listening, speaking, reading and writing. So listening, you should be able to listen to the news, listen to the TVs, listen to the big speeches, listen to your teachers and try to imitate them. Listen to the award functions, then you will understand how the program is being conducted. How they say, when just we come here and we just pay our salutes and tributes to our dignitaries, those who are invisible. While lighting the lamp, what we have to say? So we'll have to just fill up the gaps. This is the beginning. So there are many things that we have to learn. And then you will be able to just stand properly in shortcut competitive world. Otherwise, no one will look at us, no one will buy us in a 10 to 15 rupees even. 10 ते 15 रुपयाला आम्हाला कोणी विकत घेणार नाही. आणि म्हणून आमच्याजवळ काही असेल तरच आम्हाला कोणीतरी सॅल्यूट करेल. So my dear friends, I will tell you the simple technique of speaking or making small and simple sentences. What is there in English? This is the game of your left hand. To learn English is the game of your left hand. This is the dust of your hand. What is needed is proper technique, proper method. Now see, now when the 2 friends come together, how do they greet? How do they introduce yourself? Hello, good morning, morning, hello, how happened to come here? म्हणजे कसं काय आला तिकडे? I came here to meet my friend, but how you came here? I also came here to take a book from my friend. We are meeting after a long time. How? Where are you? And what are you doing? Tell me immediately. So we are meeting after a long span of time. So what are you doing nowadays? How do you waste your time from morning till you go to bed? Nothing, yeah. What you do, the same I do. But still, how do you waste your time? Now listen to me carefully. Instead of going through that traditional way, this is the new and applied and technical way of learning English language. When he says, I get up early in the morning, I wash my face, I brush my teeth and I go for morning walk. I come home and as soon as I come home I wash my hands and legs again and I bath. Then I take tea, I take breakfast and read newspaper. I see some TV serials, I take some news and I do my homework. Then I take my meals. I take rest for some time. Then I collect my bag, my books, my notebooks and I take my bike and I go to my college. I attend the periods. In recess I go to canteen with my friends and I drink tea with them. Again I come to my college and I attend the remaining periods. In the evening I go home. Again I wash my hands and legs and I take a cup of tea. My mother comes there. She gives me a bag with some money. I take the bag and I go to market. I buy some vegetables, some fruits and necessary things and grocery. Kirana. Then I come home. I give it to my mother. I help my mother in kitchen. I cook food. I clean the vegetables and I cut it into pieces and I cook food. And then I call all my family members at the dining table and I serve them. I like to serve them. In this way, we take our supper together. Supper, Ratri's Jeevan. I chit-chat with my brothers and sisters. I discuss with my parents. And in this way, we take our supper together. Then I go to my room. I read my newspaper, some magazines, some comics. I see some TV serials. I help my brothers and sisters in their study. I check their homework. And late at night, I go to bed. Now tell me, how many words, how many sentences are there? Not, at least 10 to 15 sentences I have spoken here. Isn't it? This is your daily routine. And I put it into simple form, that is subject and V1. Subject and V1 form only. So this is the first way of expressing our whole day's routine, simple present tense. Subject and V1 form, the structure. The another thing, you put simply second form. Subject V2 I know. Then whatever you have done yesterday, you will be able to speak it before all the people. कालचं काय केलं सगळं दुसऱ्यामध्ये ठेव. I got up early in the morning, I went to Buldhana, I met the doctor, Mr. So and so. So, in a V2 form only. Finished. कालचं सगळं यायला लागलं. Today's we can express. And what about tomorrow's? So simply subject, shall or will, and V1 only. That's all. What else is there in English? काय दगड आहे English मध्ये? Only 3 magical sentences. So I told you that this is the game of your left hand, but what we need are the important techniques and methods. So I shall get up early in the morning, I shall walk, I shall go, I shall read and write, and I shall come home. So shall or will, and simply V1 only, and just go on running. So in this way, my dear friends, you be bold and go on speaking. Let there be thousands of mistakes, doesn't matter. Don't afraid of mistake. Don't afraid of mistakes. If you want to learn English, kill English first. Go on killing. Let there be thousands of mistakes. Don't worry about the mistakes. Later on we will, just correct it. The man who makes more mistakes in life learns more in life. And the man who does not make even a single mistake, he is not a man. He is either God or Superman. We are neither gods nor Supermen, and we are men only, human beings, and so we are bound to make mistakes. We are bound to make mistakes. And so, don't afraid of English. Don't bother about the speaking. Make a very short and simple sentences. Whenever you come together, you speak in English. With your teacher, with your principal, with your brothers and sisters, with your colleagues. You use it. Wherever you meet, wherever you come across, you use English and English alone. And you make a particular rule in the college. You can. So on the particular day, not even a single word in Marathi. On Monday or on Tuesday. One day in a week. So on that particular day, everybody will talk in English and English alone. So this is a real English day. So on that particular day, simply English and English alone. So the communication, my dear friends, is very important. If you have a sweet tongue, you can control the word. If you use proper words in a proper situation, so you can get good jobs, you can earn more money, and you will be respected and loved by all in society. But if you make mistakes and use wrong words in wrong situation, your own near ones and dear ones will be your own enemies. So language is a two-sided weapon. We must use it properly. So with the help of language, we can conquer the world. And with the help of bad language, we can destroy all. So language should be very magnetic, very pure, and very smooth and sweet. So English language is very polite one. So I think, after looking at your faces, I think that, sir, they are getting somewhat bored वगैरे असं मला थोडंसं वाटायला लागलं. And you just because there are 2-3 days, 4 days, so that particular things are in your mind. So my dear friends, so keep your hands on your soul and tell me, do you think that English language is the difficult language in the world? Not at all. No, not at all. If we try, so we can. My dear friends, we have such a capacity that if you can take soil in your hand, you can change it into gold. That capacity you have. That capacity you have. If you take soil in your hand, you can change it into gold. That power you have. But what is needed is a firm decision. We don't decide. So once, while summing up my speech, 3 things I would like to, within 1 minute, I will just sum up this. Now, my dear friends, while concluding my speech, I would like to suggest you one more thing, that now NOW is the most important time for you. Now is the most important time for you, and study is the most important work for you. Whatever you have to do it from now. Say now, whatever I have to do, from now, not from tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. When you listen to the clock fixed there on the wall, it says tick, 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 isn't it? It does not say tick, tick. It says tick. The clock says tick, tick, tick. Do whatever you have to, quick, quick, quick. It is not tick. It is quick, quick and quick. So be quick, because tomorrow never comes. And the teacher is the most important person in your life. Teacher is the most important person in your life. If you have these 3 keys with you, then definitely you can open the treasure of your future. कुठल्याही ताल्याची चावी तुमच्याजवळच. These are the master keys. Now, study and your teacher. So these are the 3 master keys. So make maximum use of these 3 keys and make your life better. Make your life golden. And then we will be very proud of you. These are my children, these are my students. So make your teachers to feel confident and proud about yourself by your good actions. And whatever you get here in these holy premises, you impart after going to the particular respective villages, when you will just teaching to your students there. Whatever you have learned here, just you distribute among all. Because we say सरस्वती के भंडार की, सरस्वती के भंडार की अजब सी है बात, जो जो कहे तो बढ़े, ना कहे तो बढ़े. So you have to tell it to others. जे काही तुमच्याकडे, whatever you have learned here, you don't put it with yourself only. You distribute it among the others so that it will be multiplied. It will be multiplied. Otherwise it will be rotten. And you people are most important people. You people are most important, because tomorrow's future is in your hand. असं म्हणतात, आप चाहे तो इंसान बना सकते हैं, किसी फकीर को सुल्तान बना सकते हैं. We are teachers. आप चाहे तो इंसान बना सकते हैं, किसी फकीर को सुल्तान बना सकते हैं. आपके ताकत का क्या अंदाजा करें. आप तो पत्थर को भी भगवान बना सकते हैं. So, Honorable Principal and his whole team, his colleagues, invited me here, and I came here. I am very much pleased. You people felicitated me, honored me very much, loved me very much. You spoke very beautiful words about me and my personality. I am very overwhelmed by all these hospitality, my dear friends, my dear sir. And at the same time, I express a bright future. I wish you all the best willings for your future, and I conclude my 2 words here. Thank you. Thank you.